Hey hustlers, it is your hybrid hustler here, and this video is a little bit different that I typically would put out. From the title, which is the reason why you clicked on this video, um, why you should start a YouTube channel in your late 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond. A little bit different. Want to talk about it, something that I'm really passionate about. Let's get started. So, this video is going to be minimally edited, hopefully. And really, there's no script, no teleprompter, or anything like that. It's just me talking to the camera. And I'm going to be looking back and forth because I'm looking at myself on the phone, trying to look at this little camera hole in the phone. So bear with me if I'm looking over here or if I'm looking over here. It's pretty much the same thing. I'm just trying to get this all situated. So bear with me on that. Um, I do have some bullet points over here. I probably will be looking over. I'm not really sure if I'm going to because a lot of this is just me free form talking. So um, let's talk about something that I am passionate about, and that is starting a YouTube channel in your late 30s. A lot of people have told me in the past, you're probably in your late stages to even consider a YouTube channel. You're not going to get monetized. No one's really going to care about your message, and you're not going to have a growing or a following, and you're definitely not going to go viral. Okay. I mean, what at that point, what am I going to do? Everyone's going to be telling me I can't. Well, what's going to hurt? If I start one and I fail, maybe everyone was right. If I succeed, then I proved everyone otherwise. And so there's really at this point no um, harm to get started. And I think that's the first thing if you're even thinking about starting a YouTube channel. It could be a Twitch channel or whatever platform or medium you want to start. I want to say for this video, I'm going to be talking YouTube, but again, you can use any platform you want. Uh, Age really doesn't matter. It does not matter. If you have information that you want to share, just pick up that camera and start talking. And I'm going to talk about some of the hacks and some pro tips. So hopefully you guys stick with me. And again, bear with me on this video. It's just me, a microphone, and my phone. So hopefully you guys stick around for some of this message and what I have to say. So when people have told me, first off, let me go back a little bit. I've wanted to start a YouTube channel probably 4 or 5 years ago. It was before the pandemic. I had this idea of starting a YouTube channel and just never really got into it. A couple of the reasons why I was just fearful of people's opinions and thoughts, and I always held them very high. So other people's thought process was always like number one before my own. And um, people were telling me, maybe you're just not cut out for it. No one wants to hear your message. And it got to my head. And at the same time, I'm thinking, well, maybe no one wants to see this face. They don't want to see me what I'm wearing. Maybe they're going to make fun. Or these are all the things that stick into my head for pretty much like almost a decade. And I not that I regret it. There's no regret in anything, but I could have started a channel 5 years ago and been in a better position financially or emotionally or just spiritually. And now it's obviously not the case, but that's okay because I'm starting now and I've started. So I had this idea back in the fall of 2023 to literally get started with YouTube. Like this was going to be my time. I wasn't going to push it off any longer. I needed to do it now, or I'm just not going to do it at all. Not a good way to have that mentality, but psychologically, that was what I wanted to do. And so I think I came up with the idea if I wanted to do it, I'm just going to do it. January of 2020 is when I started the channel. and I had some high end goals, and I wrote some things down of how I was going to start the channel, what I was going to start with and talk about, and it was good, but the ideas in my head were very ambitious. I wanted to be monetized, which we'll talk about monetization in a little bit, but I wanted to be monetized within 3 months. That was the goal. In fact, um, before I even said I wanted to do it in 3 months, that was like the high end goal that I didn't really tell anyone. When I told people, and again, this is me trying to cater to other people's thoughts and opinions, but I told everyone if I can get monetized in a year or two, I'll be happy. In fact, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, how do I get monetized in 3 months or less? In just 90 days or less. That was a tough idea because it's very hard and very difficult to get monetized on YouTube. If you don't know what I'm talking about, monetization is having being paid for ad revenue. And there's other ways you can be monetized by YouTube, but the basic premise is you get ad revenue through Google AdSense. And for every 1,000 impressions or views on a video, and I'm using high level information, but it's pretty much accurate that you're going to get paid a certain amount of views on an ad. So, I'm thinking in my head, man, I'm going to be making, hundreds of dollars a month if I can really build a following in a community. Don't go into this thinking you're going to be making hundreds of dollars on a YouTube channel, especially in the beginning. Maybe you will, maybe you'll go viral, but either do it because you want to believe it, or you want to tell others to hold yourself accountable, but don't get upset if you don't, right? So that's the first thing. So I had these goals in my head about being monetized and how many subscribers I want and how many videos I want by the end of the year. So I just went all in and I started a YouTube channel. And I thought I built the community pretty strongly. I did what I could do. I learned a lot along the way, and that was in January. We're now in July, and within that time, I became monetized with Google and YouTube within 60 days. I'm going to tell you that is probably for a lot of people very, very difficult to do. And I'm not tooting a horn here. I'm not trying to put it out there, that information that anyone can be monetized in 60 days. In fact, your growth could take years, it could take months, it could take weeks. It's up to you and how much you care about your channel. Okay. And everyone's growth is a little bit different. So I'm going to give you a lot of things and a lot of information over these next few videos because this is like a series of mine that I'm going to be putting out. So when you watch this video, by the time you see this video, you're going to see a whole series of these videos talking about my growth, how I started, and things that I've worked on and that maybe could benefit you as well. So a lot of were riding in my head, a lot of these goals and things that people were telling me. Really, it was like a psyche almost. Then I should just not start a YouTube channel. And I'm here to tell you that no matter what your niche is, and a niche is a specific topic or category or something that you like to talk about. So if you're passionate about cooking or traveling, or maybe it's the news or politics or the tech, whatever the case may be, if you're passionate about it, talk about it because that's your niche, right? And everyone has a niche. There's a lot of people that like to talk about ladders. Okay, if you type in ladders or construction or coffee or ceramics or technology, you'll find someone who is passionate about that specific topic. That is your niche. And so everyone's niche is different. And you don't have to stick to a certain topic either. You can make your own niche. So a lot of people will make their own niche about whatever they are passionate about. It could be one day, it could be about video games. The next day, it could be about painting. The next day after that, it could be about driving a car. So everyone has a different type of niche, and you don't have to stick to just one category or niche. But you do need something. You need to have some sort of path on your YouTube channel. That helps the algorithm. The algorithm is you probably heard the term a lot, algorithm, but algorithm is YouTube's way of figuring out who your audience is based off of what you do. It's connecting your audience and you together. That is it. That's your algorithm. And not to get real too technical about it, everyone has their theories about how to engage into that algorithm and how to bypass the algorithm or how to hack the algorithm. At the end of the day, there's no hack, there's no special magic trick around the algorithm. The algorithm is your viewer. Let me speak that again. Let me tell you again. Your algorithm is your viewer. So if YouTube predicts that your video, let's say you're talking about cars, and it's going to take this entire video that you talk 20 minutes about cars, and it's going to predict an audience that might also like cars. And that is your algorithm. Now, here's the thing. If your viewers are watching because they enjoy cars, but they're not enjoying your video, that doesn't mean that you failed. It means that YouTube as a platform hasn't found the correct audience yet, right? And that takes time. So when we talk about getting monetized within YouTube, it takes time. And the reason that takes a lot of time is because YouTube is trying to figure out your video and connecting that to the right person who wants to hear it. So we all have messages. We all have something we want to talk about. We all have insight, and we need to get that message out there. Unfortunately, there's millions upon millions of content creators out there talking about anything and everything. So YouTube's got to sort this all out and try to figure out, how do we connect that person's message with the person who needs to hear it? And that takes time. It takes development. It takes building a community. It takes diving into your personal niche and trying to deliver that message to the right person or groups of people or communities. So, and also when you look at niche, all right, my niche could be, I'm just giving an example, it could be a technology niche. If I'm not talking to the right person who cares about technology, then YouTube's going to figure that out and move on. So that's why it's very important that you stay consistent. And that is step number one, is staying consistent in your channel. If you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond, it's going to be very overwhelming and daunting to start a YouTube channel with no content. It just is. You're going to make a video. You're going to spend 10, 20 minutes or even maybe 6 or 7 hours, whatever, how long it takes you. You're going to have this beautiful message and you're going to upload it on YouTube, and you might get 1, 2, 3, 5 views. Maybe you'll get 100 views, if that. And you might think to yourself, oh man, I spent all this time and no one watched it. No one commented. No one liked it. And that's frustrating. What I'm telling you, though, is that video just didn't have time to get to the place that it needed to be. And that's YouTube's way of testing and trying to figure out where and who your audience is. Maybe your audience isn't exactly what you're trying to go after. Maybe you think your audience loves your tech information. Maybe you want to talk about tech, but your audience wants you to talk about certain parts of the tech. Well, it takes time for that to happen and multiple videos. That's why here's the hack number one is to create a lot or a library of videos. Something that I learned from a pro creator, content creator, is create before you even start the channel. Write down the ideas of 10 to even 15 or 20 different videos and create 10, 15 videos. Then edit 10 to 15 videos. And right before you upload the first one, think about it, upload all of them at the same time. What this does is it feeds the algorithm, YouTube, with a whole bunch of information and video content out there all at the same time. And what that's going to do is give the ability for the machine or the algorithm to understand who your audience really is. If you only create one video and you put and upload one video and you don't do the next one for, let's say, 2 weeks or even 3, 4 days, the algorithm is only basing the information from that one video. Now let's repeat that. It's only showing that one video. There is millions of hours of video being put up daily. Your video is just one of those videos. You're nothing special. No offense. So YouTube doesn't really know. It doesn't know who to put this out though. It doesn't know whether this group of viewers really do like your video. They might see it once and turn off the video, and it's not really being pushed out to the correct audience. So instead, take a whole bunch of these videos and push them out at the exact same time. This will help feed that algorithm, and over time will gain an audience. But here's even a bigger pro tip. If you're going to do this, not only will it feed the algorithm, but it's going to give your audience something to watch. Let me explain. See, not to get real technical with this, but YouTube is much more than gaining subscribers. It's good to get some subscribers. It's good to get a community going. And we're going to talk about that in a future series. However, if you really want to build an audience and you really want to get your videos out there publicly, YouTube really caters to a big metric. And we call these KPIs or key performance indicators. And that is the average duration. Average view duration, or AVD, is what we would say algorithm, but what YouTube is looking for in videos to be able to be promoted even more. So you might have a video that's 20 minutes long. And during that video, you might have 100 views in the first 2 or 3 hours. Awesome. You did well. You got a lot of an audience. But as you find out in your studio, in your analytics, that they're only watching for 30 seconds, 45 seconds, maybe a minute. But your video is 20 or 30 minutes long. So YouTube's going to look at that and say, well, content was good, but it wasn't good enough for your audience. So we're not going to promote it as much. Think about that. You want to now cater to not just the number of views you have, but average or total duration viewing of your videos. Now, let's take this a step further. If I took a video, one video, and it only has 30 seconds of view time per viewer, that's okay, but they only spent literally probably a few minutes on my channel. And have you ever gone to a YouTube channel that only has just one video? It might have been really like a viral video, but if you watch that one video, if it's for a minute or if it's for a full 20 or 30 minutes, what happens after that? Do I wait it out for the next couple days or weeks before your next video? Do I forget about you after a few days? That's something where it's a little tricky at this point. So a pro tip would be to come up with 10 or 15 videos and plop them all out and upload every one of those at the same time. If your video is resonating with a viewer, now that viewer says, I would like to see more of this content creator or more of these type of videos. Maybe there's something else that they, are talking about. Let's go to their channel. They have 10 videos, all about similar topics that I kind of enjoyed. Let me watch the rest. Well, now you're binging 10 episodes or 10 videos that were 10 minutes long or 15, 20 minutes long. And now my average view duration is rising, or it's increasing. And YouTube is now going to look at that. That algorithm is going to understand who the audience is and how much time they're spending on your channel. Very important. So, as a pro tip, I'd come up with a whole series of videos. Spend some time, spend a couple days, spend a couple weeks getting your filming done, getting your editing done, uploading them all at the same time, but pushing them all out at the same time. Don't just do one a week or one every few days. Spend some time getting your videos perfected and then put them all out at the same time. That's going to make a big difference for any channel, especially in your 30s, 40s, or 50s. Now, you might be wondering, well, that's a great tip, but is it really the best time to start a YouTube channel? Like, seriously, let's talk about that. And that was one of the big things that I was always told was, you're getting a little older. No one really can relate to the content that you have. And let me just tell you, that is so far from the truth. See, I've seen young content creators, and I've seen the type of content that they put out there. And a lot of them rely on a viral trend or something that's getting out there, that's something that's new, and that's pretty much it. They'll get viral for a little bit, and that's pretty much it. So what do you do from that? Well, as a older creator, and I say older respectfully, but if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, you have something that's like a superpower. So think of age as your superpower. What do you have? Well, you have wealth of insights, knowledge, and experience. Think about that. You can talk about anything that you're passionate about, and someone is going to watch that and relate to it. They're going to want to know more about what you have to talk about. It's being genuine. Now, again, there's thousands or even upon millions of content creators that might know about cars. If you type in cars on YouTube, you'll get a list of car creators or travel creators or vloggers or whoever. It does not matter. But you offer something else. You offer personal experience. You might offer personal opinions or just life experiences. And so you are different than the millions of people out there. There's content that people create every single day that others have done 10 years prior. But it's you who can be relatable to your audience. That is most important. Here's a hack number 2. A lot of people say, well, there's so much content out there. They don't want to see me. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, they don't care about you. They care about your message. Embrace being unique. See, a lot of these content creators, and including myself, will try to put on a show. And I've done it. Believe me, I've done it. Where I want to show off and be exactly like what my audience want me to be. Well, I don't know my audience, but I might think about what they want. So I spruce up the room, or I might film a certain style, or I might edit a certain way. But at the end of the day, they're there to watch you for your message. And so embrace the uniqueness that you have, the message that you can present to others, and just talk. Enjoy and be passionate about what you have to say. And people can relate to that. So another thing that I really believe is that when someone says that, you're a little older, just tell them you're a little wiser. It's a-okay to have a message out there that you want to talk about. It's okay to put it out there if you're not a perfectionist in what you wear. You may not have the best clothes. You may not have the best setting. You may not have the best lighting or camera. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm on an iPhone. Doesn't matter what phone you have. You can have an iPhone 6, 7, 8. You can have a Samsung Note 5. If it has a camera, if it has a microphone, you can speak in front of it. And people just care about your message. Now, I also notice that more people care about audio than video. So it doesn't have to be the best camera, but as long as people can hear you, that makes a difference. Now, this was part 1 of the series. I may have rambled on a little too much, but I want to tell you right now is the most important time to start a YouTube channel. It's also probably the most perfect time for you to start a YouTube channel in your late 30s, 40s, and 50s and beyond. Do not feel afraid to pull out your camera and speak to it and share your message with the world. This is the Hybrid Hustler, and until next time, I'll see you guys down the road.